Every single day, millions of people, especially those over 50, quietly struggle with a strange kind of exhaustion. Their minds feel foggy, cravings strike out of nowhere, and they wake up multiple times each night just to pee. Even though they're not diabetic, they try going to bed earlier, eating healthier, making all the right changes. Yet that lingering feeling of just not feeling right refuses to go away. Sound familiar? For so many older adults, mornings feel heavy. Their bodies feel off, their minds are slow, and nighttime never brings true rest. What they don't realize is that these symptoms might be their body's quiet cry for help. They've tried better sleep, cleaner meals, but the imbalance, it stays. What almost no one talks about is this. All these strange, frustrating symptoms could point to a deficiency in one simple, misunderstood mineral. Not zinc, not iron, but magnesium. I've lived it. I was exhausted beyond words, too drained to follow a conversation. I'd jolt awake at night for no reason. My thoughts felt anxious, tense without a clear cause. Even with healthy habits and proper rest, I still felt like something inside me was out of sync. Then I tried magnesium glycinate. I wish I could tell you it worked overnight, but that would be a lie. The first 5 weeks brought almost no improvement. I nearly gave up until I looked closer at the brand and dosage I was taking. And what I found genuinely shocked me. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 essential rules for using magnesium glycinate the right way so your body actually absorbs it and you feel the real difference. But before we begin, may I ask, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments. I'd love to know you're here and that we're walking this journey together. Have you ever taken a supplement faithfully for weeks, only to realize that nothing has changed? The fatigue is still there, your mind still feels cloudy, the nights remain restless, and quietly, a thought begins to settle in your chest. Maybe your body just can't bounce back anymore. That was exactly what I felt when I first started taking magnesium glycinate. I took it because I'd read it could help me sleep deeper, calm the nervous system, ease those small but persistent muscle aches. I followed every instruction, 2 capsules a night, always with food, same time each evening. But after 5 weeks, there was no difference. I didn't sleep better, I didn't feel more balanced, my body still felt out of rhythm. All I was left with was disappointment. One quiet night, I sat alone and looked again at the label, and there it was plain as day, but somehow invisible until then. The bottle said 400 milliliters magnesium glycinate. But what it didn't say was that this number referred to the total compound weight, not the actual magnesium my body could use. In reality, I was absorbing less than 100 milligrams of elemental magnesium a day. No wonder I felt no change. My body had been starving for something I thought I was feeding it. That moment hit me hard. Not because I'd made a mistake, but because I had trusted a label more than I trusted my body. I realized I wasn't alone. Many supplement brands use large numbers to make you feel like you're getting more, when in fact, you're getting almost nothing. Worse, many are filled with unnecessary additives like magnesium stearate, talc, or silicon dioxide substances that may slow down absorption or upset a sensitive stomach, especially in older adults. So I made a switch. I searched for a brand that clearly listed elemental magnesium, that avoided cheap fillers, that was transparent about its testing and reputation. I landed on one that didn't make wild claims. It simply did what it said. And within 10 days, I felt something shift. I slept through the night without waking. The constant tension behind my eyes lifted. My heart stopped fluttering at odd hours. I finally felt like my body was working with me, not against me. So if you've been taking magnesium and feel like it's just not working, don't be too quick to blame your age or your body. The real answer might be right there on the label you've been overlooking. And even if you've chosen the right brand, there's one more silent mistake that could be keeping magnesium from doing its job. It has everything to do with when and how you take it. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. If you're still watching and finding this helpful so far, would you mind leaving a simple 1 in the comments? It helps me know you're here and reminds others that they're not alone in this journey either. We often assume more is better, especially when it comes to vitamins. One big dose at once. Done for the day? But with magnesium glycinate, that habit could be quietly sabotaging your results. Let me ask you something. Have you ever taken your full dose of magnesium at night, hoping it would help you sleep, only to wake up groggy, bloated or worse, still restless by morning? You're not alone. And there's a hidden reason behind it. Most people don't realize this, but magnesium has a limited absorption window. Your body can only take in a small portion at a time, around 100 to 150 milliliters of elemental magnesium in one sitting. The rest, it may pass through undigested, or worse, cause digestive discomfort like loose stools, especially in older adults with sensitive systems. So here's the reframe. What if taking your full magnesium dose all at once isn't helping, but quietly working against you? The solution is simple but rarely talked about. Split your dose. Take half in the morning, half before bed. Why? Because magnesium supports different functions depending on the time of day. In the morning, it helps regulate blood sugar, boost energy production, and reduce cortisol, your stress hormone. At night, it promotes deep sleep by supporting GABA production, a calming neurotransmitter that helps you wind down naturally. In fact, research shows that spreading out your intake improves overall absorption by up to 25%, especially for those over 60 whose digestive efficiency is lower. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Find out how much elemental magnesium is in your supplement. If your bottle says 400 milliliters magnesium glycinate, you're likely getting only 80 to 120 milliliters of real magnesium per capsule. Step 2. Take 1 capsule after breakfast and 1 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Drink with water, ideally not with high calcium foods like dairy, which may block absorption. Step 3. Observe. Give it 7 to 10 days. You may begin to notice your afternoon energy feels more stable, your sleep becomes deeper, and your bathroom habits much more predictable. This small change helped me finally feel the calm I'd been chasing. No more churning thoughts at night, no more dragging through the morning. It felt like my nervous system after years of tight wires had finally unclenched. But here's what most people miss when you split the dose. The timing matters just as much as the amount. Take it too close to meals, and your body may not absorb it efficiently. Take it too late at night, and you might wake up to urinate before it can even do its job. And if you're also taking calcium, potassium, or vitamin D, there's a sequence you'll want to follow, because combining them incorrectly can quietly cancel out all your efforts. And that's exactly what we'll cover next. Because even if you're taking magnesium the right way, your other supplements might still be standing in the way. We're often told to take our vitamins, but what we're not told is that when and how we take them can make all the difference. Especially when it comes to magnesium glycinate, a mineral that works silently but is easily disrupted. If you've ever taken a handful of supplements together, in the morning magnesium, calcium, vitamin D, maybe even a multivitamin, and still wondered why you feel no better, the answer might be hiding in that very routine. Here's something most supplement bottles won't say. Magnesium and calcium use the same absorption pathway in your gut. Think of them like two cars trying to merge into a single-lane tunnel. If you take them at the same time, they compete. And in most cases, calcium wins. The result, magnesium gets crowded out and flushed away. That calm you're looking for, that muscle relief or mental clarity, it never happens. Not because magnesium didn't work, but because it never got the chance to. Now add vitamin D into the mix. It sounds like a perfect trio: calcium for bones, vitamin D for absorption, magnesium for the nervous system. But here's the catch. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption, not magnesium. When you take all three together, your body becomes primed to prioritize calcium even more. It's like putting a spotlight on one actor, while the others wait backstage, unseen. So what's the right way? Separate them. Take magnesium glycinate by itself, ideally 1 hour before or after any calcium-rich foods or supplements. If you're taking vitamin D, pair it with a meal that contains healthy fats like avocado or eggs to boost absorption, but space it several hours apart from your magnesium dose. If potassium is in your regimen, give it its own time slot as well, preferably earlier in the day because it affects muscle function and electrolyte balance differently. This one shift, spacing out your supplements, was a game changer for me. Once I started separating my magnesium from calcium and D3, I began waking up rested instead of groggy. My restless legs at night calmed down, and that mental fog that made me feel disconnected, it finally started to lift. I didn't change the dose. I didn't switch the brand. I simply changed when I took it. It's a small fix, but it's powerful. And for so many older adults who rely on multiple supplements, it's one of the most overlooked reasons why their health doesn't seem to improve, even when they're doing everything right. But this brings us to a second layer of the problem, something even fewer people know. Because beyond timing, there's another factor silently affecting how magnesium works in your body. And it's not about what you take, it's about what you eat. Certain everyday foods, yes. Even healthy ones can block or interfere with magnesium absorption without you realizing it. So if you fixed your supplement timing but still feel no better, what's on your plate might be the culprit. And that's exactly where we're headed next. We're often told to take our vitamins. But what no one really explains is that when and what you take them with makes all the difference. Especially with magnesium glycinate, a mineral that works silently but is incredibly easy to disrupt. If you've ever taken a handful of pills in the morning, magnesium, calcium, vitamin D, maybe even a multivitamin, and still found yourself wondering why you feel no different, the real issue might be hiding inside that very routine. Here's something most supplement bottles won't say. Magnesium and calcium compete for the same absorption channel in your gut. Think of them like two cars trying to squeeze into a narrow tunnel at the same time. If you take them together, they clash, and more often than not, calcium wins. As a result, your magnesium gets flushed out before it can do its job. That calm you're craving, the deep sleep, the muscle ease, the clearer mind, it never happens, not because magnesium isn't working, but because your body never had a chance to absorb it. Now add vitamin D into the mix. Sounds like a power trio, right? Calcium for bones, D for absorption, magnesium for balance. But here's the twist. Vitamin D enhances calcium absorption, not magnesium. So when you take all three together, your body's machinery gets tilted toward prioritizing calcium. It's like turning up the spotlight on one actor while the others wait backstage in the dark. So what's the fix? Separate them. Take magnesium glycinate by itself, at least an hour away from calcium-rich meals or supplements. If you take vitamin D, pair it with a healthy fat meal like avocado or eggs for better absorption, but keep it several hours apart from magnesium. If potassium is part of your regimen, give it its own time, ideally earlier in the day, as it impacts muscles and electrolytes in a different way. Just changing the timing, not the brand, not the dose, made a huge difference for me. I started waking up rested instead of groggy. My legs stopped twitching at night. And the mental fog that made me feel detached, it finally began to lift. I didn't take more. I didn't switch bottles. I just took it at the right time. This small shift is powerful. And for many older adults juggling multiple supplements, it may be the most overlooked reason why nothing seems to work even when they're doing everything right. But there's another layer one that almost no one talks about. Because beyond timing, what you eat can also block magnesium without you realizing it. Even healthy foods could be working against you. And that's exactly where we're headed next. We often think of food as healing, nourishing, especially the ones labeled healthy. But what if some of the very foods we trust most are quietly standing in the way of magnesium absorption? You might be drinking your magnesium at the perfect time, taking the right form, even splitting the dose correctly, yet still feel no improvement. Why? Because what's on your plate might be undoing everything you're trying to fix. Let's start with one of the biggest offenders, high phytate grains. Whole wheat bread, bran cereals, brown rice, yes, even oatmeal. While these foods are often promoted for heart health and fiber, they contain a compound called phytic acid, a natural anti-nutrient. Phytic acid binds to magnesium in your gut, creating an insoluble compound that passes right through your system. So even if your supplement contains 200 milligrams of magnesium, you might be absorbing only a fraction if it's taken near these foods. Another sneaky culprit: oxalates found in spinach, beets, rhubarb, and even almonds. Oxalates also bind to magnesium, forming crystals that your body can't absorb. This is especially dangerous for seniors with kidney issues or low bone density, as both magnesium and calcium absorption can be compromised. Even excess sugar and caffeine common in morning routines can act as magnesium thieves. Sugar spikes insulin levels, which increases urinary excretion of magnesium. Caffeine, meanwhile, speeds up gut transit time, leaving your body little chance to absorb key nutrients. That comforting morning coffee with toast or cereal, it might be the reason your magnesium levels stay low even when you're supplementing. So what can you eat instead? Start with magnesium-friendly options. Cooked leafy greens like kale or Swiss chard, lower in oxalates than spinach. Pumpkin seeds, which are rich in bioavailable magnesium. And fatty fish like mackerel or salmon, which also support anti-inflammatory pathways and overall heart health. Add a banana or avocado for potassium balance, and you've got a meal that actually works with your supplements, not against them. Here's a simple plan. Take your magnesium glycinate 1 hour after breakfast. Not with it. Make your breakfast lower in phytates and oxalates. Skip the bran muffin. Try a boiled egg with sautéed kale and a slice of sourdough. For lunch or dinner, rotate in grilled salmon, steamed sweet potatoes, and a handful of pumpkin seeds. And limit caffeine to just 1 cup in the early morning. No more sipping coffee all day. I made this change quietly, without much fanfare, just swapped out a few habits here and there. But within 2 weeks, I noticed something shift. My muscles didn't ache the way they used to after walking. My mood felt lighter. The constant edge I was living with softened. But there's still one piece we haven't touched yet: why magnesium glycinate is different from other forms like citrate, oxide, or malate. So if you've ever stood in the supplement aisle, staring at 5 different magnesium labels, wondering what the difference even means. Don't worry. That's exactly what we'll cover next. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, please let me know by typing the number 5 in the comments. It helps me know you're here, listening, and walking this journey with me. Now, let's get real about something most people find overwhelming the supplement aisle. You've probably been there, standing under fluorescent lights, scanning shelves filled with bottles that all say the same thing, magnesium, but in small print. The words oxide, citrate, malate, glycinate, threonate start to blur together, and you wonder what's the difference. Does it even matter? Oh yes, it matters. Magnesium oxide is cheap but poorly absorbed. It mostly acts as a laxative great for constipation, not so much for your muscles, brain, or sleep. Citrate is better, but can still irritate sensitive stomachs. Malate can be energizing, but may worsen anxiety in some people. Threonate is promising for brain health, but expensive and not as well studied in older adults. Magnesium glycinate, though this one is different. It's bound to glycine, an amino acid that supports relaxation and sleep. This form crosses the blood-brain barrier more effectively and doesn't cause digestive upset. For older adults dealing with muscle tightness, anxious thoughts, restless sleep, or irregular heart rhythms, this is often the most gentle and effective option. But here's the twist: even magnesium glycinate isn't right for everyone. If you have severe kidney issues, you must speak with your doctor before supplementing. Damaged kidneys may not filter magnesium properly, leading to dangerous buildup. People on certain blood pressure medications, like ACE inhibitors or diuretic, should also be cautious. Magnesium can interact with these, affecting electrolyte levels or amplifying the effect. And then there's the myth of more is better. Some seniors, desperate for relief, take high doses to 600, even 800 mg daily without guidance. The result: diarrhea, low blood pressure, even irregular heartbeat. The truth is, your body has a sweet spot. Most older adults only need 200 to 350 milliliters of elemental magnesium per day, depending on diet, activity, and medical history. So what's the right way to take it? Start low, 100 milliliters at night. See how your body responds. If your sleep deepens, your legs feel calmer, or your mood feels more steady, you'll know it's working. Gradually work up to the amount that supports your symptom, but always monitor how you feel. For me, 250 milligrams before bed was enough. I take it alone, with water. No distractions. Just a quiet moment to give my body what it's been missing. But dosage isn't the only mistake people make. There's one habit so common, so innocent, that can completely erase the effects of magnesium overnight. And chances are, you're doing it without even knowing. We'll uncover that next, and once you fix it, everything else finally starts to work better. Imagine this. You've adjusted your dose, chosen the best form of magnesium, avoided the wrong foods, and spaced your supplements just right. Everything seems aligned, but you still wake up tired. Your muscles still cramp. Your sleep still shallow. It doesn't make sense until you look at what's happening at the very end of your day. One of the most destructive habits for magnesium balance is so ordinary, so overlooked, that most people don't even consider it a habit at all. And yet, it's stealing your progress night after night. Screen time before bed. Phones, tablets, TV, anything with blue light exposure can reduce melatonin, increase cortisol, and tighten your nervous system when you're supposed to be winding down. And when cortisol rises, magnesium levels drop. It's a physiological response. Your body enters alert mode, pulling minerals like magnesium from your tissues to manage stress, even if that stress comes from reading the news or watching a tense movie at 10 p.m. And here's the kicker: even if you've just taken your magnesium glycinate, this spike in cortisol can prevent it from being used effectively. It's like pouring water onto dry soil that's too hard to absorb, it just runs off. What's more, blue light interferes with your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells your body it's time to sleep. Without that signal, your brain stays active, your heart rate doesn't slow down, and your muscles remain slightly tense. All the things magnesium is supposed to fix, blocked by a glowing screen. So what can you do? Create a magnesium-friendly bedtime ritual. At least 60 minutes before bed, turn off all screens. Use warm, amber lighting. Take your magnesium with a small glass of water. No food, no caffeine. Then, try something calming, light stretching, journaling, soft music, or simply sitting in silence. Let your nervous system soften. Let your body receive. I used to fall asleep with the TV on. I thought it helped me relax. But in truth, it was robbing me of recovery. Once I cut the screen and honored that quiet hour before bed, the magnesium finally had room to do its job. It wasn't magic. It was a shift. And it's one that made all the difference. But there's still one thing many seniors overlook: how magnesium connects to vitamin D, K2, and calcium, and what happens when those levels are off balance. The trio works together like gears in a clock, and if one is missing, the whole system gets stuck. We'll untangle that relationship next, and it may explain why your heart, bones, and mood feel out of sync. Today, we walk through the 6 essential rules that actually make magnesium glycinate work, from choosing the right form, the right dosage, proper timing, to the small daily habits that quietly support or sabotage its effect. But beyond all the science, here's what truly matters. You're not broken, and you're not too old to feel strong again. Fatigue, brain fog, restlessness. These aren't just part of aging. More often, they're your body's quiet way of saying, "I'm missing something, please listen." And when we finally choose to listen with patience, with belief, that's when healing begins. For me, everything shifted not with a pill, but with a decision. A decision to trust that my body still had strength, still had potential, and slowly, gently, I began to feel it return in deeper sleep, lighter steps, and a calmer mind each morning. If you've made it this far, may I ask a small favor? Share this video with someone you care about, someone who's tired, or maybe someone who's quietly losing hope that feeling better is still possible. Sometimes, one simple video can be the turning point in someone's journey. And have you ever tried magnesium glycinate? What was your experience like? Or what's still holding you back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every word, because no one should walk this path alone. And if this video brought you value, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed guidance and real-life healing for seniors. We're on this journey together,